future is here. You now have the power to unlock the secrets of the hobby. An innovation that will change the way the industry works. The game changer is here. Card Ladder.
Hey everyone, this is Josh, back with Cardboard Chronicles. Today I'm joined by one of the creators of MySlabs, Matt. How's it going, Matt?
How are we doing today, Josh?
Doing great. We're ready to talk about MySlabs and talk about some cards. So why don't you start off and just tell us about yourself and your background in the hobby?
Well, I'm obviously a lifelong collector. I have deep roots in basically, the Facebook forums around the country with dealers I actually did a lot of business with before I ever joined Facebook. I grew up in the 80s when collecting was, really starting to make it big. Every corner store had boxes of cards, every grocery store. So that was kind of, even at such a young age, 6, 7 years old, I was still looking for cards everywhere I went. Obviously, as I grew older, I went across multiple sports, everything from basketball to football, everything. I collected just about everything growing up, and it really hasn't stopped.
So what do you collect today?
A little bit of everything. I gave up on modern basketball for a while, and I'm back into it, only because I was buying cases of every product you could imagine, from baseball, basketball, football. So back around 2013, 14, I kind of laid off it, and now I'm back. I guess you could say I have the bug for collecting basketball again. But I mean, I love high grade vintage, modern baseball, 90s to early 2000s football, obviously basketball from any era. But really, I tend to like everything.
I've been told you have a pretty killer Mookie Betts collection.
Yeah, I have. He was in our farm system. One of my family members actually ran one of our farm teams, and I used to get to see video of him and so forth. And even when he was unknown, the kids, hand-eye coordination was just dynamite. So I started collecting him hard when he first came out in licensed products in 14. And again, that never really stopped either. So it's amassed, and I'm glad he's produced, but now he isn't on my team anymore. So it's kind of bittersweet.
Why'd the Red Sox let him go? I felt like that was a weird move.
We have a bad habit lately of not wanting to pay anybody. We're obviously, our front office is huge in sabermetrics, but when they took a look at him, either they didn't think they could sign him or just didn't want to pay him. And from what I hear is they just didn't want to pay him, which is kind of ironic because for the sabermetrics that they push, if you're going by WAR, he's obviously top tier, second to Trout since he's come into the league. So I don't know. It was disappointing. I know it's a business decision for Betts ultimately. Maybe he'll come back, who knows? Hopefully.
Okay, so why don't you jump into MySlabs and just tell us what it is and what got you started with it and all that.
Okay. Well, obviously, anybody that's been in the industry for a long time has always kind of dreamt about another marketplace with cheaper fees, accountability, kind of less BS with dealing with people. Some of the other platforms are absolutely plagued with returns, high fees. I mean, eBay, you have your PayPal fees, eBay fees, tax. eBay now wants to tax you on tax. You have store fees, final listing fees. It's a bit much for the protection they provide or they don't provide, and that goes with several of the other options as well. So basically, what it came down to is a group of us just got tired of it, decided to give this a go, create a platform where you're going to if you want to sell, you have to go through an application process. You have to be qualified. We go through every single one manually. And if you're slow shipping, you're slow to pay, anything, it's not tolerated on site. We expect professionalism from all our members, buyers and sellers, and we just don't tolerate the BS that other sites will. So, people ask us, well, why don't you guys have a rating system or feedback? We don't really need the feedback, because if you screw up, you're out. You're not going to be dealing with people that have 10 negatives. Typically when I see a request come through that has 98% positive feedback, I even start to question that, because if you're a seller on eBay, that's more than just 1 or 2 negatives typically in the past, 6 to 8 months. It's hard to get through with even 98% feedback. And we do check all the feedback, all the comments. Sometimes it's just a pain in the butt buyer rather. But ultimately, we just thought we could provide a platform for the masses that caters to graded sports cards and, really what people want in the industry. A little bit, right now it's just kind of a meat and potatoes site, very easy to use, but we're getting great feedback so far, and obviously we're producing sales.
Do you know how many sellers you have on the platform, if you can share that?
Sellers, I believe we have, and don't quote me on this because this is more of my partner's forte. I would assume we have in between 900 and 1,000 right now, approved sellers. So obviously they've run the gauntlet of, the background checks. Anybody that hasn't produced, as we've asked, has been removed. We're very much involved in the site. Customer service is pretty much always going to be me for now. So if there's an issue, you have somebody in the industry that knows, what the problems are. You're not dealing with some anonymous customer service representative from who knows where that has no clue about graded sports cards. So right now, don't quote me on it, but I would say in between 900 to 1,000 sellers.
So for people watching, if they want to get started, how do they do that?
Well, you go to the MySlabs.com website, and there's an Apply to Sell tab. We ask for some basic information. Once the office receives that information, they forward me the request, and I in turn send back a small, inquiry requesting some information, references, eBay feedback. Just some stuff that if we don't already know you, we can base a decision off of. I tell people this all the time. I mean, no offense, but if your eBay feedback comes back and you have 25 sales and we don't know you personally, don't take offense if you can't get approved on the first go around. It's just we're trying to protect everybody to the best of our ability. We promised we would, and there's not enough there to base a decision off of. So just apply, and we'll take a look at the application and go from there.
How do you plan to get more buyers onto the platform? Because obviously that's eBay's big thing right now, is they just have the biggest platform for people to find it. How do you guys plan to improve that over time?
Well, obviously word of mouth has played huge for us, because we haven't done any real advertising up until last month, and it was just a small little trial run. We rely on our members, believe it or not. We've gotten great feedback from our members. We have the MySlabs welcome forum that now has 2,200 plus members on Facebook, and basically anybody that wants to come in and see what's going on, see who's involved, read up on the rules and regulations and terms, what's expected of you. They can just join up in there, see if it's for them or not, because this website isn't going to be for everybody. We don't allow returns. You're buying graded cards. There should never be a reason for a return on a graded card, outside of obvious damage, during shipment. But we will be doing some marketing. We have some major site upgrades on the way. I can't really speak to what they are, but we're all really excited about them. It's going to be things that are going to make the platform a lot easier to use, make it a lot more user-friendly. And when you see them, you're kind of gonna wonder why no other site has thought of them yet, because they just seem like common sense. And when we were brainstorming, we're like, wow, I can't believe nobody's thought of this stuff yet. They're really, really interesting, fun upgrades coming, and we can't wait. Basically, it's really going to improve the site.
Do you know about timeline on the release of those updates?
I don't. Again, that's a little bit out of my my expertise. That's all the tech guys stuff. I know they're working away on it, and I know they're overqualified. Basically, I don't want to promise anybody a timeline, but they're coming up soon. So just bear with us. It's, you're not going to be waiting years down the line for this stuff. They are coming. I just don't want to commit to anything and then, be wrong, basically, because it's just another reason for somebody to say, yeah, they promised this, it's not there. So just be patient with us, and we'll promise we'll get to them.
So full transparency, what is the fees that you guys charge to the sellers?
Okay, our fees, I don't think you're going to find them anywhere lower on earth. We charge 1% final sales fees to sellers, or $1 on anything under $100. There's no listing fees, there's no store fees. It's just the 1%, and that's it. That's all you guys are paying for. So if you sell a $1,000 card, you're paying us $10. Anything under 100 again is a $1 flat fee, but that's it. And, obviously people are enjoying saving the money right now, because we have sellers that are selling under eBay. They don't mind sharing savings, and buyers that are buying, under eBay, where we provide a free sales archive that anybody can go check out to go see exactly what's selling and when. So just go check it out. There's a lot of stuff selling. We're selling more and more every month. I'd encourage anybody just to go check it out.
Are you guys going to have an API for sales information as an interested party in that data?
Again, that's not something I can answer. I would assume so, but I can't say for sure. That's something we discuss along with a multitude of things. Keep in mind, we're a little bit over a year old right now. We released, I think, February 28th of last year. When I signed on, I initially told the guys that I thought we would need at least 2 years to really gain some traction. So in the back of my mind, I thought we had at least 2 years to kind of iron out some of these issues, make the necessary site upgrades, or fix the bugs. That obviously happened at a much faster pace. Really, we at the year mark, we were kind of, I don't want to say mainstream, but a lot of people knew about us, and we had already had significant sales. Sorry about that. My computer just cut out. So that stuff is all being talked about. I can't say for sure. I can't give timelines on that stuff. That's more my partner's area, but nothing's ruled out. Let's just say that.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to give my personal recommendation. I used it to sell a couple things, and it was as smooth as possible. The buyer paid right away. The fees were super low. I can't think of a reason you wouldn't use it. I think you said that earlier, but I don't understand why you wouldn't use it. Everything's cheaper than eBay, and it's the same stuff. So
well, most people are creatures of habit. They don't trust new platforms. When we first came out, there was a lot of chatter on other message boards that, this was never going to work. Even with the 1% fees, people didn't want to try it out. They, not everybody knows me, from other platforms. So, they hear my name. They don't care, who's running it. It just doesn't mean anything to them, unless you're on Facebook and, in the rooms I'm in. Most people don't know. Some people are just stubborn. They didn't want to give it a try. They're used to other platforms. It's extremely convenient. There's tons of eyes there. But as we started getting, a lot of the more reputable sellers from eBay on, their stock sitting on our site, and they're willing to sell a little lower, that brought a few more people over, just kind of snowballed. And we've had a lot of people in the industry have our back. You know a lot of them. We're mutual friends with quite a few. It's people just didn't. People don't like change, but I think now that they're seeing that there's more money in their pocket, they're a little bit more willing to give us a try. And we will go to for lack of a better term, go to war for you if there's an issue. We know what the issues are in the industry. We know how to handle them. We will fight for you, for lack of a better term, if there is an issue. So far, so good.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the underrated part of this. People are just going to look at the fees, but like the protection and sort of the gate against some of the stuff that's been going on in the hobby recently with shill bidding on auctions and fake patches and all this crazy stuff going on. There's going to be no shill bidding because it's only best offer, right? So you guys are just able to get ahead of that stuff and not have bad sellers. And it just seems like that's kind of your pitch, right? Is you're protecting everyone. And it's like this really nice bubble for sports cards that's not open to the craziness of eBay.
Well, people have asked us, when we're going to have auctions. I personally don't want them because, let's face it, they're easily manipulated. If you come onto our site and you want to manipulate pricing, you're going to have to buy every card that you want to. There's just no way around it. If you want to, drive up the prices of LeBron James Hot Chrome, you're going to have to buy every single card, because the moment you don't pay for that one card, you're gone. We don't want our sellers dealing with that. We don't, that's unnecessary. So you can't really manipulate prices without suffering a huge consequence, in your pocket. So really it's kind of ideal for people that just don't like the BS, and you can get cards cheaper than eBay. So it's very hard to manipulate pricing on site. So yeah, we like the setup right now as it is. We are getting requests for auctions, but the other part of that is we don't have 10 million eyes on the site of all times. So I have to kind of explain to people, it'll be hard getting you max dollar for auctions, at least at this point in time. So we'll put it on the back burner. I don't think it's in our future, but I don't really know. I'd never say no, but that was something that would have to be discussed really with my partners and the community. For we do discuss things like this in the welcome forum. Everybody's welcome to participate. It really is a community. Everybody helps each other out in there. When new people come in and have questions, there'll be times that I'm slow to answer, and our members will pick up the slack. And we have guys that can repeat our rules basically verbatim. I'm really kind of proud with the guys in the forum, how willing they are to help out everybody. So that's pretty much it for the auctions for now, I think.
What's your goal for MySlabs aside from just like, financial goals, maybe like goals for how it takes over the hobby or, whatever?
Well, to be honest with you, the original goal was to provide a site that was accountable. People have to be accountable on it. The most responsible in the industry, we're going to be rewarded. We'd like to keep more money in everybody's pocket, basically. It's, other platforms just take too much and give too little. So we'd like to become a profitable company. That would be great. But, we really want people to come to our site first, buy from us, feel comfortable buying, and really save everybody money on both ends, buying and selling. With some of the stuff we have in the plans for the future for ourselves, we'd really, really like to be thought of as the place to buy and sell, your graded sports cards. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. We grow by leaps and bounds every day. The amount of requests we get to sell go up every day. So really, our main goal right now is growth, and just keep the reputation going, basically.
Yeah. What about sports cards in general? What do you see for the future of sport cards maybe in the next 5 years? Because it's been like a crazy few months with Corona and everything. So stepping back and away from MySlabs, what about just the hobby in general?
Well, with the way things currently are in the sports market, it's kind of hard to project the trajectory, if you will, because it's right now it's just been going straight up, you know. And if you're in any amount of Facebook forums, you will always see the doomsday guys saying, "Oh, you know, the market's going to bottom out." To anybody new in the industry, don't get scared when you see that. People have been saying that since the mid '80s in the sports card shops. You know, baseball cards have been around for 160 years. They haven't gone anywhere. The market's stronger than ever. We will see lulls. You know, that's inevitable. I think it's inevitable anyway. I thought we were going to see one now. Obviously, we didn't. But honestly, what other market in the world do you have this much fun in? You know, people are converting from the sneaker area, from stocks and bonds. Your homework is to basically go watch sports every night. You know, I don't know where else you can do that and potentially make money doing that. It's fun. It's exciting. Sometimes you can see returns on your investments immediately, which, let's face it, you don't even have to like sports to like that. There's always a wealth of knowledge everywhere around you, particularly if you're on social media. 5 years from now, I think the industry's still going to be booming. I mean, it constantly evolves. It's never just kind of stuck in a rut where people are only chasing one thing. I mean, you'll go through a few months of it where everybody wants, you know, Acuna updates or whatever. But really, there's so much product to chase, it never gets disinteresting. So I expect it to be exceptionally strong with the new money coming in all the time. But again, who knows? I can't predict, you know, right now it's just going straight up. I've never seen anything like it. Cards are tripling inside of 2 months for no logical reason other than maybe boredom during this whole thing. But, you know, I expect a ton of new money coming in consistently over the next few years. And, you know, hopefully by then MySlabs will just be the worldwide leader. But
I really like
maybe.
the comment of your homework is to watch sports. That's a funny way to say it.
Well, I mean, really, it's what other industry in the world you have to study sports? Or, you know, a lot of guys, I shouldn't say a lot of guys, some guys kind of get away with just watching what other people buy. You know, they know their cards are going to sell, and it's kind of like follow the leader. But realistically, if you want to kind of make your way in and make a name for yourself, you should be, you know, maybe buying into some guys that are kind of other people don't think of as, you know, top dollar guys and watching them grow. It's very easy to watch people and what they sell and just kind of jump on the bandwagon. But really, I mean, let's face it, your homework is to watch sports, read up on them, look at stats. You don't get that anywhere else in any other industry, to my knowledge anyway.
Yeah, with stocks, like if I'm trying to get my friend into stocks, I'm like, oh, you have to go study, you know, biomedical fields and like figure out what products are coming out. And I'm like, or you could just watch sports on Sunday, which you already do, and start buying the guys you think are good.
Well, exactly. You can, you know, study stocks, which is about as fun as, you know, it's not. Or you can go watch a basketball game every night, go watch a baseball game. Not right now, obviously, but chances are you like one sport, whatever it is, football, baseball, basketball, soccer. I mean, we've seen a huge uptick in soccer wax sales on site. There's really something for everybody, and it's fun. You know, it's fun, whether you are doing it to be a collector or a seller, flipper, or both. You know, you can finance your collection, you know, selling if you're doing it right, or at least part of it, so you're not absorbing the thousands of dollars in, you know, PC cards. So it's an interesting industry, and we're pulling a lot of people from other industries over. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of social influencers now, all over social media talking about sports cards. People from other arenas, you know, those guys are all excited. Some of them are a little misled, I'd say, but you know, it's an exciting time in the industry.
If you have someone that you know coming into the hobby, maybe that has money, what advice are you giving them? Because I mean, there's so many new people, like you said, coming in, lots of new money. What's like the first thing that they should be doing when they come in?
All right. Well, that leads me right back to the social influencers, and this is no knock on anybody in particular. Um, People have to realize that existing wealth doesn't necessarily translate to market knowledge. There's a lot of new people buying in that have a ton of money that are just buying stuff up and posting it all over social media. So somebody looks at them and says, "Wow, they're buying this," or they're doing this. They must know what they're talking about. Some of them do. Some of them grew up collecting. Some of them don't. If you're being told to invest in a 29-year-old quarterback with no career stats, it's going to be playing in a same division as Patrick Mahomes for the next few years, maybe you want to look into why. I mean, it's some of this stuff, it's crazy. But
You're not talking about Derek Carr, are you?
Well, maybe. If somebody's telling you to go buy a 29-year-old quarterback with no career stats, don't do it. At least look into it first. See if you can see some sort of potential value there. Because even if he wins a Super Bowl inside of 3 years, he's then 32 with a Super Bowl. What does that give you? It's people need to be, especially the new people, need to be a little more cautious about who they're taking advice from. Unfortunately, social media gives everybody a voice, and some people mistake that voice as truth, market knowledge. They get a little excited. There's plenty of great venues. There's your podcast, House of Jordans. There's plenty of people on IG that will help you out without having a financially motivated decision to give you. You know what I mean? David Owens, Riverfront Collectibles, PC Trading, Josh and Zach. These guys will answer questions without having money on the back of their mind. Shoot these people a message. There's a lot of great information out there to be had for free, and there's a lot of bad information out there. You just kind of got to distinguish. There's plenty of guys on Facebook that'll help you out too. Just don't necessarily cling to the flashiest guy with the loudest voice. That isn't necessarily. They're never going to tell you when the bottom's about to fall out. You know what I mean? They're using you for fuel for the most part. Not all of them. There are some good guys that are, promoting the business. But some of them are just looking to fuel their own fire, and they're never going to let you know when the bottom's going to fall out. So just kind of be cautious.
Well said, man. Well, let's end it there. And do you have any last minute advice or anything coming up for MySlabs? Anything you want to share with the audience?
No, I really think if you're qualified to sell, and you're looking to buy and sell for less money, keep money in your pocket, come check us out. Just about anybody you look at eBay, selling on eBay right now, the largest sellers, they have their cards listed on MySlabs. So there's legitimacy there. There's accountability. Come check us out. Maybe you can buy some cards cheaper. Maybe you decide you want to sell after checking out the platform for a while. But we're growing every day, and we'd love to have you if you're qualified. And let's keep more money in everybody's pocket.
There's also a lot of cards that you can't find on eBay there. I know a lot of people ask me, like, I can't find the card I want. Where do I get it? It's another place for you to go check and maybe find something you didn't know.
Well, that's true, because we've had several of the larger sellers, actually take everything off eBay and just put it on MySlabs. It's less of a hassle. You're not getting, the annoying messages all day asking what your bottom price is. So it's, you're right. There are cards there that you cannot find anywhere else on earth, and we're proud of that. And just come check us out. Buy something.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming on and answering all these questions. I know people are excited to check it out, so I'll be posting the link to the site, and hopefully we get some more customers on there, get some more people.
Awesome. I appreciate you having us on, and spreading the word, and we'll be promoting your show as well. It's great.
Thanks, man. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Josh.